أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين وخير ناصر المعين. How are you doing? Yeah, sorry for not having the slides again. The computer is broke. It's not my it's not but I hope so will be fine for tomorrow. So for the Thursday we're gonna have the slides. This is for prophethood that we spoke about last week, and we talk that we need a lawmaker, a lawgiver. So we spoke about the law, we spoke about the prophethood, we spoke about, if we just go a bit back, we spoke about the justice. Why we said justice is very important? Because like if we just count in our daily life, if we counted for our life, if we just counted for the society, if we just count for another life, in another world, we will see that justice is more important than the other things in our life, in our society, even in individually or in general. We had two main ideas, main thought in justice. One was what, and one was what. Who knows? Who can remember? The ideas about justice. No. The Asha'ira and Mu'tazila. I'm talking about that. Anyone can remember? We had one about the Adliya. They believed in what? That justice should be happen. It doesn't matter if you are a god or if you are not. So if you have the power, still you have to have the justice. You shouldn't commit any oppression against anyone. You should not be an oppressive person or an oppressive god. So in front of the Adliya, who was it? Asha'ira, right? They believed in what? There is no justice. So in group of Ahl Sunnah and group of Shia, they both believe in what? Justice. They were a small group, just we can say the small group. They believed in that there wasn't any justice or anything like that. So God could commit anything that he wants. He can send any prophet to the hell. He could even also send the prophet to the heaven. He can send like ISIS, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, all other terrorists from every country, every continent, everywhere to the heaven, and every good people, good person to the hell. Why is that for? Because this is God. This is the belief against the Adliya. So we talked about that. Why we need a prophet, we said it in the previous session. Why do we need a prophet? And why is that going to happen? Because of the God's justice. It's going to happen for the law, because we need a law. We need something for us. We need to have a right and what is wrong. Someone should tell us what is right, what is wrong. When we want to use a car, we need someone to explain it, how it's going to work. It's not really possible that they put a car over there without no ideas about it, what is this, and someone just know how to use it. I bet this is a very simple question. Yeah, obviously it's not really right, because some people easily, when you try it, you will find out what is right with it. I just want an example. In the beginning, you have no idea about it, what is right, what is wrong. So we need someone to be a messenger from the God to tell us what is the right, what is the wrong. And about like even the medicine, about the other things, like the prophet brought iron, the prophet brought the medicine, the prophet brought, all prophets brought something to this world. So we need the prophets to tell us about even this world, because it's impossible for us. Like I'm in Indonesia, how can I know anything about Australia? Don't imagine right now, because there is aeroplane. Imagine 1,000 years ago. Imagine even 200 years ago. Even if I'm here, how can I understand about the benefits of the other countries, other cities? It's impossible. How can I treat the other people? How it's possible to know them? It takes a long time to know them. How to stop the war? You know, the prophet, when the prophet came, all he tried was stopping the war against the against the humans. So we mentioned all these, that we need a prophet. That was a prophet. Now for today, we want to speak about the salvation, the law bring the salvations, and after that we'll talk about what is the law look like, and after that we will talk about what qualities should lawgiver have, and after that we will talk about a little bit about the prophethood, the attributes of the prophet, and after that we'll talk about miracles, and I hope we can finish it for today. It's possible. It is possible if I just speak fast. Okay, law can solve three great problems. One is law define the duties of each individual in relation to society. Social duties are clarified and talents are coordinated, which blossom among human beings. Like when you have a law, when you have a rule in yourself, you know what to do. When you want to study, when you want to work, when you want to know how to treat your family, when you want to treat there is all called a law, a rules for yourself. It is not something out of it. When you want to just say everything is injustice, everything is in a special part of their own particular parts. Like what? Being nice to other people, this is individually, right? Being nice to other people, this is a law that was mentioned by, for example, human rights was mentioned by Islam, was mentioned by the other religion, was mentioned by everything that like human believed in it. So this become a law that it is good to be good to the other people. It is bad to cross a red light. This is a law. It doesn't mean that it should be mentioned by the government. It can be mentioned by ourselves. When you say, I have to treat my family in a nice way, this is a law. It's a rule for yourself. When you say, I have to study, for what reason? Because I want to grow, when I will grow up, I need to be knowledgeable. I want to work. I want to have a job. I want to go to the society, to have another, between the communities, because I need some knowledge. If I'm illiterate, how can I communicate with the other people? How can I find a good job? How can I do, and etc., like the other things? So making this to yourself that I have to study, I have to go to the school, I have to go, for example, to the university, I have to go to that places, I have to work. These are all called law. So at the beginning, the first thing is individually. So the law can solve the problems individually. The second one, laws coordinate the method to be used to carry out one's responsibility by every individual. First, we said is individual. Second, it's us to the others. Me against her, me against you, you against me, you with the others. What should we do? First one was inside. Second one is between each person individually. The third one, law prevents the aggression of individuals against the rights of each other. Now we wanted to treat, and now we want to talk about the rights and what is the not rights. Like it can be individual that I mentioned, and it can be in general. The rights, and there is something like it's not right against humanity, it's wrong. Like we mentioned with like myself, each person to the each person, and now in general. Me in front of the society, me in front of the communities, me in front of the country, me in front of the continent, me in front of the earth. Like, I have to be careful about my environment. What is this? This is a law for myself. I shouldn't throw the rubbish outside. I have to keep it, put it in the garbage, for example. Put it in a bin. This is a law. So law can solve these great problems. They can solve the others, but we need to see, firstly, me as me, individual, me in front of one person, me in front of the environment, me in front of the other people, me in front of many other things. So in this way, I can fix the problems. And what is it called? This is called a law. This is why we need it. So we spoke that about the laws. We now spoke about what laws can fix. But if we want to talk about law, what law looks like, we can bring an example like the train, the rails of the train, or the tracks. It has similarity. For example, when you want to make and build a rails or the tracks, firstly, you have to know the land which the train moves. Where do you want to put these rails? Where do you want to build or make the tracks? Where should it be? Like, you know, for example, in Indonesia, there are many forests. Where should these tracks should go? The rails. The train, where should it go? There are some places that are into the waters. If you just dig a bed, you just reach the water, for example, 5 meters. So is it this place a good place, or should I go to the other places? So which one is the correct one? So first one, which land should we go through to make our rails or make our tracks? Another one is the distances between the 2 tracks or rails. Like when you want to make a rail, how much should it be, the distances? Or how should I make it? This train goes, these cars go from the tracks, the way. Second one, should know about that. The third one is the ups and downs might not be sharp. But you want to move the train, if it goes like this, the trains cannot go up. It's quite impossible for the train. Or for the cars, will just cost loads of money for the petrol, or it will damage your car. So, you know, the way they just built, it goes like not very sharp. So this is another thing. The fourth one is the possibility of landslide or flood along. For example, the flood, for the storms, and for the earthquake, many other things. So these are 4 common things between railway and law. Like the place, the land that I want to make my rail. The second one is the distances between 2 rails. And the third one is the ups and downs. And the fourth one, the place that I make it, is it going to be, for example, the earthquake, a flood, and many other things. So when you want to make a law, you should know everything. When you want to make this law, when you want to bring it out, what is it going to do? Is it against the humans? Is it going to help them? Is it against the culture? And many other things. You have to know any law in a specific term of them, each other. Like each law, is it this law against the other rule? Like for example, when you're just making a rail, this rail, is it going to be in the same places, so it will be both helping each other, or this law with something goes over here and this law goes over there? So this is that you should know about the laws. Okay, so enough about the law. We want to know about what qualities the lawmaker should have. These qualities are I just wrote 7 qualities about the lawgiver should have it. One is the lawgiver should know the human species in perfect and total way. Like, what does it mean? It means the lawgiver should know anything about our needs, about our feelings, about what we want, what we like, and what we dislike, or what we hate. This is what the lawgiver should know about us. The first one, that should know about human species. The second one is all of the praiseworthy qualities and the talents which exist in human beings. What do I have? What can I be? Where should I go? What can I do? Like we have it in Quran, like it says, "Ma yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha." What is that wus'ah? What is that our self that we say, our power, our talents, and other things? The lawgiver should know it. Like when you want to ask for example, your child should know what abilities does this child have? The potential. When you want to give them a law, when you want to give them a rule, when you want to order them, you should know, is it possible for him or her to do it or not? This is the second one. The third one is the events and accidents which are possible to occur should be foreseen. You should know everything that comes through to the humans. When you make a law, what will happen to these humans? For example, I'm just saying, just an example, when you tell them you should pray 5 times a day, what is the benefits for them and what is down? What is it they call? What is not the benefits? What is the downside? What is the upside for them? And what is good for them? What is the bad things? And what effects does it have on the human life? So you should see all of this. The fourth one is such a lawgiver should have a particular interest in society so that in providing the laws. So the lawgiver should have no particular interests. Like if I like, for example, the prophet, we want to talk about the prophet. He's from Arab nations and he loves Arab people. He hates, for example, European. All the law that he will give, it will be against the European people, right? Because he hates it. Or how should I know he doesn't hate me? The law is not against me. But I know that he was against, for example, the Western people. He was against the African people. So this prophet, this lawgiver we're not just even talking about the God, we're talking about the prophet individually. So this person that want to be a prophet should not have any particular interest in anyone, any place, any society, in anything in general. No interest. Like if I'm from, for example, in Iran, he should like me individually. If I'm from Indonesia, he should like me individually. If I'm from European countries, he should like me individually. Because of being from that country. The prophet should not say that, oh, I don't like a people with these faces, for example. He cannot say that. Because if he has interest in anyone, in anything, he will make a laws for them against the others. It will be a bias law. It won't be just for the human being, not just for some, it will be for some special humans. Another one is this lawgiver must at the maximum be free from error and mistakes. Why we say that? If Someone has a mistakes, it has error, it has something again, like doesn't make sense for him. Maybe he'll make a laws that is not really good. You can just change it in 10 years later. Prophet wrote a law. He made a mistake. We can change it right now. If you believe in mistakes, you should praying. You committed mistakes, so we can change it. Even in morality, in many other things. So lawgiver should be maximum free from the error. And the last one, last not the least, the lawgiver must have such power that no position or power in society may intimidate him, or he should not fear from any person or anything. No one can make him scared of anything or anyone. The courage, the being brave should be in the prophet. Okay, now we talk about the prophet and the lawgiver. Now we want to talk about here the Khisasul Anbiya, the attributes of the all prophets. That was all of it in Prophet of Islam. There is a riwayat in Manaqib al Abi Talib ibn Shahr Ashub, this book. It says, كان النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قبل المبعث موصوفا ب20 خصلة. He had 20 attributes before he became prophet. من 20 خصلة من خصال الأنبياء لو انفرد واحد بأحدها لدل على جلاله فكيف من اجتمعت فيه كان. We'll stop here. It says, if any of these one individually was in one person, it would show that how that person will be great. We would someone special. But all of these will become in the Prophet of Islam. فكان نبيا. This prophet was nabiyan aminan. This prophet was amin, Rasul amin. Sadiqan, haziqan, asilan, nabilan, makinan. Because there's too many attributes, I don't want to just translate each one. It will be takes a long time. Makinan, fasihan, aqilan, fazilan, abidan, zahidan, sakhiyan, kamiyan, غانعا متواضعا حلیما رحیما غیورا صبورا موافقا مرافقا. He had these all 20 attributes before he became a prophet. So then after that he'll become a prophet. So this prophet, if you go through the Quran, you'll see that the Quran says even how much this prophet was powerful. The Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul. It will become close to the God. What it means to say, it is meant to say that whatever the prophet says is nothing against or out of the God's order. So whatever God says, it is whatever the prophet says. But those people who are beyond you, more powerful than you, your vali, as was mentioned by the God. So ya ayyuhallazina amanu ati'u Allah wa ati'u Rasul. So you see, ati'ullah, it's the same for the prophet, ati'ur Rasul. Same context, same word for the prophet. It shows how powerful, how prophet was important and how is it important to go to the prophet. Ati'ullah wa ati'ur Rasul wa ulul amri minkum wa in tanaza'tum fi shay'in farudduhu ila Allah wa Rasul. If you had a problem with each other or any other things, bring it back or send it to whom? The God or the prophet. This shows the quality of the prophet. If you want to say some other ayat It's in like Surah Tawbah, لَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ أَنفُسَكُمْ عَزِيزٌ عَلَيْهِ مَا عَنِتُّمْ حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. This is a prophet who cares about you more than yourself. You are bothering the prophet, but he's still thinking about your guidance. He doesn't care about that you are bothering him. He wants you to be in your perfect position more than yourself. Another thing, it says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ. Whatever you want, whatever you're looking for in the perfections, it is in the Prophet. Whatever you're seeking for, it's in the Prophet. When you look in all the attributes of the Prophet, like when you go through the Adam to our Prophet, you'll see each of them had some special attributes. But when you go through the Prophet of Islam, you see he had all of it. When you start from them, he never complained about anything. But all the prophets complained about the nations, the hard times that they've been through. But the Prophet was satisfied with everything. He was grateful. He was gratitude of everything that God sent to him. Even he wanted the guidance for anyone, even for those who were standing against him. But you will see even the Prophet Noah, he wanted to build a ship to escape from those people. He said, these are not going to be good people. They cannot be guided. So leave them. But the Prophet of Islam never complained against anyone. This is the Uswatun Hasanah. When we're talking about the patience that we talk about it in previous sessions and 2 sessions ago, this is the patience. This is that when Prophet says, I came for the morality, this will show itself to the Prophet. What is the morality? Morality is the Prophet. The Prophet is the source of any human rights. It is the source of morality, it's the source of spiritual things. The Prophet is the source of being in your perfection. He's the greatest one and making you the greatest one. So when you go through to the ahadith of who was the Prophet, you will see it and you'll find it. Who was he? Okay, we will talk about it a little bit after that, about who was the Prophet. But now, how we should know who is the Prophet? The main question, who is the Prophet? Now, some people are claiming that they are prophets. Even in 1,000 years ago, some people said that we are prophets. Who is prophet and who is not prophet? We will answer that. First one, the prophets are mentioned in the previous religion and by the previous prophets. Like Prophet Jesus will mention that there is going to be another prophet after me that is named Prophet Muhammad, and he has these attributes. Who will be born in that place, who will raise that place, his mother is that one, his father is that person, his grandfather, grandmother are that people. It will just give you a big biography about the Prophet's biography. So first thing is by studying and knowing from the previous prophet or the religion who is that person. Another one is to find in the attributes were mentioned in that religion or the other people were coming from to you, like from the other prophets to you, but you'll find it in that person. I find these attributes, not just by the biography or the individual species. The last one It can be other things, but these are the three main ones. The last one is the miracle. Or the prophet, when they want to have, they should bring a miracle. So first one was studying, knowing from the other religion, from the other prophets, from the history. The second one was about the attributes were mentioned to find it in a person. And the third one is the miracle. And these which exceed normal human wants. So that there will be a miracle that no one can bring it. It will be just only something that can be brought by prophets. So miracle should have some specialities, so some qualifications, some things that we can know that this is miracle or this is not miracle. One is something which is possible and accepted. That is not something, you know, the Quran was accepted by what? By our wisdom. We could accept it. For example, some people say a snake, some people say a monster, some people say, for example, there was a dragon or whatever was it by Prophet Moses. They could accept it. There is something big, a monster or something else. They could accept it. They can see it. They can know what is it, and it's still accepted for us. Or bringing back death to the life by Prophet Jesus, Prophet Isa was accepted by those times. Even now is accepted. So our wisdom, our brain should be able to accept any miracle. A miracle is accepted when it is accepted by our wisdom. So all the religion at the first didn't have any they will not be accepted unless our wisdom and our brain become and accept that. So there was nothing. They did not have anything at the first time. Our brain gave them, and our wisdom gave them this quality, this qualification, this being a religion or being a miracle. So if our wisdom, our brain cannot accept it, we cannot accept it. There will be something out of it. So the God and the prophet should bring a miracle that it will be accepted by our brain and our wisdom. The second one is normal people and even genius people, by all their power, cannot do that deed. Like me as a normal people and all of Indonesian people with the other people from the other continents, if they just gathered and want to bring some miracle, they cannot bring it. This is the miracle. We can accept it. It is possible, but it's impossible to bring it by us. So this is the second quality or qualification or attributes of miracle. The third one is the miracle maker must be so certain of what he is doing that he can challenge others to try. When I bring a miracle, I should challenge the other people. It's a miracle, right? I should challenge the others. If it's miracle, the other people should become and challenge me. Because it's a miracle. If I build or make a robot, or if I make a car, I cannot challenge the other people because the other people are making it. It's not impossible. It's not miracle. So it should not be challengeable. The miracle should not be challengeable. The fourth one is no one else is able to offer these miracles, and everyone was impotent before that. Like we want to say, this was only for this person. If it is coming for each person's bringing that one, it won't be a miracle. It should be for one person. One person should bring it. Like you'll see the Prophet Moses had a miracle, Prophet Isa had a miracle, Prophet of our Islam had another miracle, and no one else could bring it. No one can repeat it even. Like the Quran was the greatest miracle, but no one can repeat it. Not even me, not even the other prophets. Because it should be from the God. When God sends one miracle, should not be able to become from the others one. Like if we have the prophets together, the only way that just because one Quran came will be for the Prophet of Islam. It's only one, he brought it. Because it's the God of speech. So when you want to bring another one, it will happen. Yeah, it is possible for God to do it, but when we want to talk about the miracle, one person should bring it. So these are the miracles. And the most important thing about miracle is that miracle should not be confused with superstitions. Like, you know, some people believe these things like, let me bring an example. When you go into India, you see people do some crazy things and they believe that will going to happen some other things. The people would say, what is it? The normal people, we usually would say, this is not really wisely. This isn't something against the wisdom. This is not right. So miracle should not be confused with that. Like when when the Prophet Moses brought that snake or whatever was it, everyone would say, okay, this is a real. This is not fake. This is not made up by some people. This is not just a story. This is a real thing that's happened. So this is a miracle. So who can bring this miracle? What person should give that power? For example, imagine a country that has nuclear weapons, that has many other weapons, has money, has power, has the media, has and many other things. Now, who should be the president or the leader of this country? A person who has, like you are just scared that he has dementia, like he's just mad. You just imagine that in any bit of time might be he attacked the other countries by nuclear weapons. So when we're going to go through the Prophet, you will find that, for example, Amir al-Mu'minin said, "Ana abdun min abid Muhammad." He's the greatest. You will see that how the Prophet was great. That even someone like Amir al-Mu'minin says, I am a slave. I'm a servant of the servants and slave of the prophets. Not I am slave to the Prophet. I'm servant to the servants of the prophets. This is the great thing of the being prophets. Like when we go through that, whoever reached something, got something, was listening to the prophets, listening to what he said. Like when you go to the Hazrat Abbas, you will see he was listening. The great thing, he was not saying anything from himself. I believe, never said by Hazrat Abbas. Like even Amir al-Mu'minin, you will see what he says, that I believe, I think, you should Prophet do that. Never, you never heard it from the Amir al-Mu'minin. It was all accepting what the Prophet says, never saying I think. It is called al-mayyit bayna yaday al-ghassal. You know, the mayyit means the dead person, ghassal who washed the dead person. So the dead person cannot do anything. You know, if you just turn it to the left or right, just stand it up, cannot do anything. It will accept it. If you just move the hands, it will be moved. You move the legs, it will be moved. So this was a person who can really believe in Islam, really believe in Prophet, really believe in what God says. You cannot find even one riwayah of Amir al-Mu'mineen was said in Prophet time. All the Quran al-Hikam, all the Nahj al-Balagha was after the Prophet. But during the Prophet time, it was only the Prophet was saying. You will find many other people having riwayah from themselves, but only was Amir al-Mu'minin not bringing one riwayah for himself during the time of the prophets. Finding who is this person. If we want to just mention who is this prophet, we can say they took from each flower of prophets one thing, one attribute, they took it and made a flower. That flower was the prophet. A flower was made by all other flowers. This was the greatness of the prophet. When we said like Ati'ullah wa Ati'ur Rasul, it says everything should go to the prophet. If you had a problem, if you had debate, go to the prophets. It's only him. There is no one, you should see no one else. Whatever is it, it's the prophet. So when you go, the prophet says, do that or do not do that, it's only the prophet should have that ability to say it, not the other people. When he says you should pray like this, you should pray like that. We cannot change it. It's only the prophet has this ability to say it. If the prophet says sleep, you have to sleep. If the prophet says wake up, you have to wake up. If the prophet says fast, you have to fast. If prophet says something is haram, it is haram. You cannot change it to the halal. You cannot change the halal to the haram. It will remain and continue as the same thing that prophet says. This is the meaning of the Ati'ullah wa Ati'ur Rasul. Wa ulul amr minkum was mentioned by whom? By the God. After the prophet, you should go to those people, that you should obey them. This is the meaning. If you want to go, let me see, have time. 4 minutes. If you want to go to the prophet, the greatest attributes are, let me see how many sessions left, Ross. If we had enough sessions for next session, I'll speak a little bit about the prophet again. If you want to talk about the prophets, we just brought that the morality. Why morality is so important? Can someone bring that up? Any ideas why morality is very important? Because of limitation time, I would say something. Morality is important because it can include everything. Everything in life, not just one thing. Any attributes can include one thing or two things, but morality includes everything in life. For example, accepting the Islam is morality. Treating your family is morality. Akhlaq. Believing in the devil, believing in the heaven, believing in the hell is morality. Believing that everything God said is true, it is morality. Accepting all what the prophet said is the morality. I should see myself as a no one. No someone can order the prophets. Not someone can say the prophet cannot judge or understand something. This is the morality to see that prophet is everything, is everyone. Morality includes everything, even the praying. Praying is morality. Accepting everything, for example, accepting some things that is not ordered by the God is the morality. Amr ma'ruf nahy munkar is morality. Helping other people is morality. Some people says human rights is morality. That's why the Prophet says, I came for that. For what reason should I invade another country? For what reason? This is the morality. I should have a reason. The reason is for myself, is for power, or for humans. For what reason Islam should be united? This is the morality. You will see that Amir al-Mu'minin was given advice to all the caliphs, the Caliph 1, the Caliph 2, the Caliph 3. For what reason? Because the morality. Islam should be stable. It should not be separated. Should not be destroyed. Amir al-Mu'minin gave advices to the other caliphs. This is the morality. It is mentioned by Imam Sadiq that if God was sent the Quran to the Ajam, from the Ajam was the Prophet was from the Ajam people. Ajam, you know, Ajam means out of Arab people. You as an Arab people would never accept it. That's why God brought it from inside the Arab people. So the other many other reasons, but what I want to say is this is the morality, that you should not care which society, which nations brought that miracle. If it is in a Western country, I should accept it. If it is from the God, if it is from Arab people, is it from Chinese, is it from Africans, if it's from Americans, if it's from South Americans, is it from Southeast Asians, is it from, I don't know, any other, even if it's from oceans even, I should accept it because it's from the God. This is the morality, that accepting and not standing against the reality. Someone came, Prophet was fighting, was in a battle, someone was fighting against the Prophet and Prophet was fell down. That person had the sword upon against the Prophet, it was above the Prophet, wanted to kill the Prophet. He asked the Prophet, who is going to save you from my sword? The Prophet answered him, the God. And after that, he wanted to just kill the Prophet, he just fell down. Maybe probably you have heard this story. He fell down and Prophet took the sword and said, who is now going to save you from my sword? That person said, your Rahmat, you're merciful. You being a Ra'uf Prophet, that's going to save me. Prophet said, okay, stand up and go. This is the morality. Having the power to kill people, and you should not kill them. For example, someone is insulting you, you have the power to beat him, to kill him, do something against him. You say, oh, why should I do it? What's the point? What's the point? This is very matter. But some people say, whatever let the other people says. That's not true. What's the point of that? When I am powerful, it will be the morality thing that you forgive other people. When you are weak, it's possible that you forgive. Like someone says, forgive me, then I have the gun, I can kill you, and say, okay, I'll forgive you. Yeah, sure. But when you have the advantage of someone against someone, that's the morality, that you forgive someone. When you want to studying hard and do not wasting your time is morality. When you're doing the wudu, it is morality to not waste the water. When you're treating your family, it is the morality to treat them in a good way. So these are moralities. So how many times do we have? It's just, okay, we are out of time. Probably we will speak a little bit about the prophets in the next session. but the next session will be what? No, the Islamic thought for the next week. It will be either Ma'ad or Imamat. You can just, huh? Yeah, because just 2 left. We'll see how many sessions we have. I think 4 sessions or 3. I think 4. It's 4, I think. So yeah, for tomorrow, for Thursday, we're gonna have Islamic lifestyle, and for next week, Islamic thought. And if let's see if we have time. We'll speak a little bit about the Prophet. The Prophet himself. Okay, now we are at the end of our session. Would have liked to speak more, but it's nearly 10 minutes to the Adhan or less. Okay, anyone has a question? I'll be glad to hear it.
Someone asked about Zaidiyah Shia to you. It's okay.
What is the question?
What is your opinion about them? Are they misled or they are still our Muslim brother? Thanks for answering.
When we're saying our Islam is mentioned that who is believing in God, La ilaha illallah, and says Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, and believe in the Quran. This person is a Muslim. We will accept them as a brother, whatever they have, the sects or whatever they are. So this is what we believe. If you even look at the all books of Shia, they say every person who says Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah is a Muslim. So what is the Shia? Shia believes in 12 Imams. The thing that Shia believes in that should be a Shia, we believe in 12 Imams. So Shia is called those who have 12 Imams. So in a long time ago, they called Shia Isna Ashari or Shia Imami. But nowadays, Shia is called someone who believes in all of those Imams. But a Muslim, not a Shia, I'm just saying the Muslim is who believe in Prophet, God, and Quran. So they are Muslims and our brother, and you cannot insult them, you cannot speak behind them, and you cannot rob or anything rob from them. It doesn't mean that you can rob from the other religions. I mean, like they are Muslims, and you should be careful about them and respect them in higher level. So yeah, if you believe in these things that I mentioned, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Quran, you are Muslim, and you are fully respected from us. I don't know about the other sects of Islam, but they should also respect. Any other questions?
So basically, they are respected in the apparent, right? As in the legal Islamic law itself.
Yeah, they were respected. Even if you go back to the history, you will see that they were respected by the nation of Islam. Like it can be, we can speak about that in Imamat. We'll speak about that. But if you want to just say respecting, if we want to just say, are they our brothers to us? Yes. Being Islam is just accepting the God and the prophets and his book. Okay, any other question? You had it, yeah.
That if the Prophet said it is haram, then it's haram. We cannot change it to halal. Before this class, we had time to discuss about shaking hands. Actually, this is my personal problem because sometimes some of my lecturers don't accept that we cannot shake hands. because they said that we shouldn't be too religious, fanatic or something. So I take the opinion of Said Sistani that say that it's okay to shake hands if the consequence will harm us. So what do you think about this case if we relate it to what is haram is haram?
Yeah, what is haram, it will remain haram until the Qiyamah. So whatever the Sistani says, there's not saying it will be halal. If what he said, he has some conditions about it, like you should wear gloves and should not shake with power. So no skin on the skin, not even when you're wearing gloves, it should not be powerful. So we just close into that. And that is in a very serious situation. For example, you're going to somewhere, they don't believe in Islam, they don't know anything about Islam, they don't know, they think it as disrespected, and it will have some consequences against you. For example, you are, let me say, for example, in European country, Denmark, France, you are in a university. For example, your teacher will come to you, they said to shake in hand. If you don't do it, they will accept it as disrespected, and they'll just saying, okay, not this, you should go out of this university. This is the consequences. For example, I'm bringing the example. What he says is in a serious situation, and it's very important, and it has condition to shake the hand, not the skin to skin, and not be with the pressure, or be these things. But this is only from the say this is sunny. Some other people, some other one, they don't believe it. But when we go through that, the halal and haram is the skins. So most of them say, like, if it is not skin to skin, that will be okay. If it's not a pressure to the body, it's okay. But for the most ahadith and riwayats that most of the Maraji Taqlid, they said is not getting close to that. Like even not the shaking hand, not even your body just accidentally, just because of the men's and some other like this. So like nowadays, it's like becoming a very normal thing that they believe it's very okay. That some people say if there is nothing about us not making us going through the haram, so we commit that. So that's the haram thing. You're just committing haram and saying if we don't go to the haram thing. How is that possible? You're doing a haram, saying not going to the haram. That one is haram. So not just only shaking hand, like nowadays I see it hugging, it becomes like saying, what is the problem? It's just like, to just look at us, something like this, we have something wrong, we are weird, like saying, why are you not hugging? And I was saying, like, why? If you just hug, will be someone who's modern person. So it is when we're saying the halal and haram, it's just remain halal and haram, will never be changed. But whatever Sistani has said, it's with the conditions. There's many conditions, not like just saying, okay, you do it. But there are many ways, like you can say, my hand's dirty. Like just ignoring them. Like they're coming to shake hand, you just move away. They might think that you never noticed them.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
They found that many disrespected from me. Yeah.
Sometimes the Western have the definition human rights is different from the Islamic. For example, you say about the morality different on the human rights. But why you compare about that thing?
When I said the human right is that morality, the human right is the Islam.
Yeah. Okay.
The human rights, I can explain any human right. I killed that person for human rights. Who said it? I said it. It's my brain, my wisdom. Who can say the real human right is only the God and prophets. God will say it to the prophet, prophet will say it to us. So human rights And the source of human rights is what the Prophet says. We need a law for that. We need something to know it. Like nowadays, some people say, my religion is humanity.
Yeah.
It's very common. In many countries, they are saying it. But what is humanity? How do you explain it? Like you see, they were standing against Muslims. So where is your humanity right now? There is nothing to measure that humanity. It is always about the brain. They can always change it. There is no law inside that humanity. So humanity, human rights, anything related to human beings, it can become from the prophets.
Yeah.
Because God created us. God has we spoke about the God, how he is knowledgeable, how he has the knowledge. He is the knowledge. So he is the one can says what is humanity, not me. I can change it. For example, you just imagine yourself as a Western person, and you come to me and said, okay, the human rights is to do the A part.
Yeah, yeah.
I also know, but it's doing the B. So who's the right person?
Yeah.
If you bring 10%, it will make it right. What if I bring like 20%?
Yeah.
Like, is it just about having people accepting you, or just like saying yourself? Your brain thinks something, my brain thinks something else. So when I said humanity, when I say human rights is morality, the human right is mentioned by the Islam.
Yeah, of course.
The God and his prophet, he brought the morality. We were talking in Muhammad that what is exactly even the morality, who can bring it, and what else should be. Any other question?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
You said that miracle should be possible and accepted. But what about split the ocean, split the moon, survive from the fire? And also, you said that the miracle should not be challengeable.
It should not be, sorry, yes.
Should not be
it's challenging.
challengeable. Isn't that mean the miracle is impossible? Because
It is possible. It is in like something that we can accept it. Like when you say that river, it was called the sea, was divided in two sides. And you can accept it. You said, yeah, it's possible. But someone says, okay, I took for example, the prophet can take the earth and put it inside an egg. No brain can accept that. We have in logically, they said imkan aqli means it's possible in your brain, and imkan al-wuqu'i, it's possible to happen in this world. So the miracle is accepted by imkan aqli, it's accepted by our wisdom, our brain, but it's impossible to be happened. Why? Because we don't have that power. It is power by the God, but it's accepted by the brain. Enough?
So it's like there's a certain limit that is the world itself, the material reality.
What do you mean by that?
Because it has to make sense in our brain, like it has to be plausible. So that means that the miracle itself must be logically plausible in the world, like within its limitations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. If your brain cannot accept it, it's not acceptable. So all the things in my, like bringing, for example, bringing the other galaxies in front of yourself, is it possible? No, because I don't have that power. My brain, my eyes are limited. Cannot be. But can God do that? Yeah, well, probably he can do it. But in front of me, no, he cannot, because I'm limited. So it should be something that can be accepted by me, because the religion is for me. It doesn't mean that God cannot bring something above that or not. It's saying that humans cannot bring in something like that. Human being cannot bring. Was it enough? Any other questions? Done?
The the person that asked about yeah, the idea said yes, I agree.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I think we are at the end of the session. Today was very good. We finished on time. We said everything I wanted to say. Probably for the next week, Islamic thoughts. And for Thursday, we're going to have Islamic lifestyle. Thank you very much for coming. We shall see each other on Thursday or next week. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
You're right. Thank you, thank you. All right. Next, pertanyaan terakhir. Pemantik. Thursday. Yes. Oke, dari itu.
Salah satu kayak Tinder gitu ya.
Iya. Kami di Islamic lifestyle.
Kayak apa tuh?
Kayak apa tuh? Islamic lifestyle.
Kehidupan yang berfollow pada nasab ahlul bait.
Oh ya.
Oh, iya.
Kayak tadi
Siapa jadi lebih spesial. Cara berhidup bagaimana? Iya, baik. Ini buku.